Hi, I'm Robin Worley, and today I want to show you how to remove the reflection from glasses in this portrait. Now, this isn't one of my images. It was taken by Duncan, who contacted me because he was struggling with this very problem. He'd tried several different tools in Affinity 3, but nothing seemed to give a convincing result. When I saw the image, I thought it would make a good demonstration, so thank you, Duncan, for agreeing to let me use your shot in today's video. Let's see how we can tackle this repair. Now, so you aren't under any illusions, I've already experimented with a couple of ways to make this repair. At the end of the day, there are only two things that we need to do to fix a reflection like this. The first is to correct the area's colour, and the other is to correct its brightness. Neither of these is particularly easy to do because the reflection in this image isn't even across the area. I was able to make a convincing repair using one method, but it's also rather complicated. So instead, I'll present today a slightly simpler method here, which still achieves a reasonable result. I'm starting with the image open in Affinity 3. As the original image was only small, I've made a 4x enlargement using Topaz Gigapixel. That's given me enough space around the eye to work on the reflection. Before starting, I want to magnify the area so I can see what I'm doing clearly. If you look closely at the reflection now, you can see that it isn't just green, but there's areas of blue in there as well. And because it cuts across the eye, eyelashes and skin, it's not something we can just clone out or remove with the inpainting tool. Instead, we need to replace the area with another part of the image and then blend that into the repair. Probably the easiest way to do this is to copy part of the other eye and use that to make our repair. To select the area I want to copy, I'll use the three-hand selection tool that's found in the tools palette on the left of the interface. After selecting the tool, I'll make sure that I have it set to the freehand type in the context-sensitive toolbar. I'll also select the mode to create a new selection. The next step is to carefully draw around the area that I want to copy. As I'm doing this, I'm keeping in mind that I need to draw around an area that's similar to the area I want to repair. In other words, I want to draw a mirror image of the area to repair here. I don't need it to be exact, but it does need to cover the damaged area of the eye. When I've drawn around the area I want to copy, I can release my mouse button and it creates a selection. We then see the marching ants. To produce a copy of the selected area, I first need to select the background layer in the Layers Studio panel. This tells Affinity what I'm copying. I can then press Command and J on my keyboard to copy it to a new layer. If you're using a Windows PC, that's Control and J. If I hide the background layer now, you can see that only the selected area has been copied to the new layer. I'm happy with this copy, so I can clear the selection by clicking the Pixel menu. Then I'll choose the Deselect option in the Pixel Selection submenu. The next step is to move the copied area to the opposite side of the image using the Move tool. With the Move tool selected, we see this blue bounding box around the copied pixels. At the moment, I can't use the pixels because they don't actually match the area that I want to repair. I also can't fix this by rotating the eye because it'll just end up upside down. What I need to do instead is to flip the copy horizontally. To do that, I'll right-click the area, choose the Transform submenu, and then select the Flip Horizontal option. You can now see that this has flipped the eye to match the other side of the face. I can then drag that into position using the Move tool. Once in position, I'll spend a little bit of time sizing the copied pixels and moving them so that they match the eye exactly. Don't worry that there are still areas of the reflection showing around the edge. I'll show you how to fix those shortly. The important thing is to get the eye into position so that it looks completely natural. When the eye is in position, there's still one big problem that we need to fix here. It's far too dark. My solution is usually to add a curves adjustment layer and use it to lighten the copied pixels. Now, it is also possible to use the levels adjustment for this, but I find that curves gives me much more control, which is why I use it. To add the new curves layer, I'll click on the new adjustment layer icon at the bottom of the Layers Studio panel. Then in the pop-up menu, I'll choose the curves option. This adds a new curves adjustment layer to the top of the image stack. Now, if I leave this in position, it's going to affect my entire image when I apply my adjustment. What I need to do is clip it to the layer my repair is on, so that it only affects that layer. If I right-click on the layer, I can choose the option to create a clipping mask. The adjustment layer is then clipped to the layer below it, which means it doesn't affect the rest of the image, only that layer. I'm now going to use my picker tool to sample the repair so that I can identify the tonal range I need to adjust. After clicking the picker tool, I can select the area I want to sample. I then see a point added to the curved line, indicating where the sampled tone lies in the range. Now I can drag up to lighten the eye. As you can see, this has already improved the blending of the repair into the image, but it's also revealed something else that's interesting. I hadn't realised that this area that I've copied also contains a lot of green, so I'll need to tweak the colour balance. Since I'm already using a curves layer, I'll just switch to the red channel. Most of the time though, you are better off adding a separate layer to adjust the colour balance. I'm actually being lazy here. Let's now increase the amount of red in the same tonal range as we've just adjusted. Next, I'll switch to the green colour channel and reduce the greens in the same area. Then finally, I'll switch to the blue channel and just add a little bit more blue to the image to stop the reds becoming too intense. These adjustments help correct the skin colour in the repair to match the rest of the image. At this stage, the eye is beginning to look quite natural, but the surrounding areas don't blend seamlessly into the image. My next step to fix this is to add a layer mask to our repair layer so we can blend it with the rest of the eye. All I'm going to do is use the brush tool to paint on the mask using black. If you look at my brush settings, you can see that I'm using a low opacity and hardness. This will help me blend the adjustment naturally and remove the hard edges from the repair. Something else that I need to do is change the brush's blend mode, because I've actually been using this in the colour blend mode, so I'm going to change it back to the normal mode. This is actually the default for the brush tool. At this point, I think I'm going to paint out the rest of the reflection around the repair, just to make it easier to concentrate on the eye. To do this, I'll add a new empty pixel layer. I'll then select the inpainting brush tool and use it to paint over the area to apply the repair. Now, having just said all that, I'm actually going to change my mind, because I've realised that I could probably do a lot more with this mask before I start to make a repair with the inpainting brush. So I'm going to switch back to using the brush tool again, and I'll continue painting onto the mask using the brush. I'm using it to remove any edges that I could blend more naturally into the face. I'll just need to keep away from the areas that are hiding the reflection. That's now created quite a natural looking repair, and the replacement area of the eye blends quite nicely into the image. It also means that I need to do less work with the inpainting brush, which doesn't have much control. Let's switch now to the inpainting brush and see how to use it to make the repair on the new layer. I just need to have the layer selected and the brush set to sample all layers. I can then paint over the area that I want to remove. When I release the mouse button, you can see the repair made. Unfortunately, it's not very convincing and it shows a lack of control with this tool. But it should be easy to replace and clean up the repair now using the healing brush. The repair is now looking quite convincing zoomed in, so let's zoom out and see how it looks. When making repairs like this, it's a good idea to view the image at different magnifications, because something that looks fine at a high magnification may not look as good when viewed in its entirety. In this example, there's actually quite a lot of heavy shadow where I've made the repair, and I want to lighten it. To do that, I'm going to add a new empty layer to the image. I'm then going to change the layer's blend mode to be soft light. This will lighten any of the areas that I paint on using a tone that's lighter than a mid-tone grey. But rather than painting with a neutral grey colour, I'm actually going to take a colour sample from around the eye. This is going to add a little bit of colour to the area as well as lighten it. Now when you're doing this, you don't necessarily want to be painting using the normal blend mode. You may find that it's better to change the brush to use the colour mode. Also, as you're painting, it's a good idea to take a few different skin colour samples and use a low opacity brush. That will allow you to blend the area to create a much more convincing repair. Let's zoom out again and check everything is still looking right. At this size, the repair is now looking good. Let's take a moment to gather all the layers now that we've created into a single group so that they stay together. We can then turn the group off and on to see the before and after result. Now the principle I've used in this image to repair the eye can also be applied in other ways. In this next video, I show you how to copy an area of an image and use it to repair another. It's a great one to watch next, and it shows what's possible with these tools. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you soon for another video.